Hello, my name is Sadie Rich, and today I'll be doing the artist critique and critiquing my own work. This work was created by Sadie Rich in May of 2024. The medium and material used is a dark black wire that is bent and wound to create the form of the sculpture. The wire sculpture is of an abstract female figure that is bending back as if she is frozen in motion of dance. The form is very vertical overall with long stretches of the body. The limbs reach out horizontally to balance the pose. The spiral quality of the wire fills in the form to create a more three-dimensional shape, and it also works as an abstraction and stylization of the human figure. The sculpture is photographed against a white sheet to contrast the dark tone of the wire and the lines that it creates. The overall feeling of the sculpture is very rhythmic and flowing. The artist uses many elements to emphasize and create this overall tone. The most obvious one I see is line quality. The choice to use wire as the medium for this sculpture is an obvious emphasis on line and line quality. A few different aspects of the line quality aid in the tone of the work. The first is the line quality. The lines created by the wire are not perfect. They actually vary quite a bit and seem to have many imperfections. There are some places on the sculpture where the wire pokes out or is bent. These imperfections in the line depict a very loose and carefree nature. Another aspect of the line are the curves. Curving lines remind the viewer of motion and flow. The curves are often seen in nature where straight and perfect lines are rare, so we tend to associate curves with life and movement. The overall direction of the figure is vertical. The head, torso, and legs reach up towards the sky. Vertical lines often convey feelings of escaping gravity and unsteadiness. The form of this work is somewhat anchored, though. The horizontal reach of the arms on either side of the figure anchor the piece in its place and restore a sort of calmness to the artwork. The last element that helps to create the tone of the sculpture is color. This sculpture uses the lack of color in its favor. Without bright and various colors, the viewer is able to focus solely on the form and the lines of the work. The artist strategically left color out of this piece to emphasize their form and its emotion of loose and flowing motion. This piece seems to be more on the conceptual side. The sculpture is an abstract form. The arms, body, and head are made from spirals of wire. The human form is not directly represented in this work. I believe this abstraction aids in the depiction of flowing movement. The artist is able to simplify and stylize the lines of the body to better reflect the flow of energy and motion throughout the piece and form. I believe the artist used these principles of design and elements of art to create a form that focuses on the movement of the human body and the beauty that can be captured with its lines and curves. I think the artist of this work was able to successfully create a work of art that looks aesthetically pleasing while also being an accurate depiction of the beauty of movement. The artist carefully molded each element of the sculpture to highlight and further the work of art towards her end goal. The elements of line, color, curves, and balance all harmoniously work together to create a work of art that is strong in the message of flowing movement and rhythmic form.